For the next presentation, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Prakash Ramanathan, Head Emerging Vertical Digital Industries, Siemens Limited. The topic of the presentation is driving impetus to a sustainable battery ecosystem. A huge round of applause for Mr. Prakash Ramanathan, ladies and gentlemen. The stage is all yours, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Manu. I hope I'm audible. So firstly, thank you for being here. My name is Prakash. What I do, I help many organizations design products better, produce it better, maintain quality, and end of the day, make a stellar product for themselves and the market using all the solutions that Siemens can provide for them. So a couple of weeks ago, I was right here in similar halls, and it was the Semicon India. And that time, what I saw is a lot of people coming together, right, and making our borders safe because we do defense equipments with that. I saw a lot of people making aviation safe for us to fly better, automation or automotive better for us with a lot of safety features on that, healthcare better, and all of this happened, I would say, one at a time. And today I see the same people or a very similar crowd changing the world one electron at a time. And that's what we are here to do and promote. And I'm very, very happy that I'm also there as a part of the purpose. So what am I trying to do today? I don't have very heavy slides technically. I hope you are able to take away a few things from me today. Three things that I want to say. I want to share some of the trends that we see today in this industry, how it's relatable to India as a market. The second thing is some things that the battery manufacturers or the ecosystem itself is overcoming, or something that's already up in the technology which people are leveraging to have outcomes. And finally, what Siemens can do in this whole game. So we know battery as a market is growing very, very rapidly. This is just a simple understanding of how we are able to drive this with automotive as a segment, electric cars, electric vehicles. How is it relevant to India? India also is going through a very, very similar path. But what's very interesting is, and I'm sure most of you must have seen this in the news, we are having different business models to drive to the market. So not only that we are able to drive this one electron at a time to the user, but we are also able to do it with kishti, with installments, right? So that's something that we're able to do, and this will also drive further growth. And we will see this growing into a lot of different verticals, farm equipments, large rail network, buses and so on and so forth. So that's something that's going to be very interesting for India. In terms of the complexities remain very similar to something that we know and we've been hearing for the last years. Very well put by Dr. Simon in the last presentations. Thank you, Dr. Simon, for that. And I also see very, very similar things when I talk to a lot of customers. And especially for India, one of the key things that I see is that the war for talent is very, very big. So it's not so easy for getting the right talent. And it's not so easy that even if you get the right talent, to maintain that talent for a long time. And it's very important that you're able to do that in this ecosystem. So so what are we trying to do is, all of these challenges mean what we need to do is drive or tackle sustainability. From an Indian context, it's very different. What we need to do is we need to ensure that we're able to recycle early, recycle right, because we are typically importing most of these items from other than India. And for us to do this right, it's important that we track what we are manufacturing and we're able to also recycle it in the right way. Delivering at pace is very, very crucial. While being there, driving these markets, whether you're making cells, whether you're making battery packs and modules, it's very, very important that you're able to drive this at a very, very large scale. If you're not able to do it at scale, you will never be able to deliver it at the cost that the market needs. So innovation is very, very important there. Innovation will play a very, very key role, and technology will be a very, very big boost for that, right? So that's something that we need to do. And all of this we have to do, all this magic, keeping pace with the technology that is there going on in the battery. So chemistry changes, there is a change in the regulation, all of this has to be kept in mind with India's perspective. So this is something that we need to drive from India perspective while these global trends are existing. I come from industry which is varied, and I'm also tracking this industry for the last couple of years, and I see one thing very, very different. Typically, when you look at the way in which the automation is used in the industry, it's very, very similar to the growth path that it's having. So for example, if an industry has a very, very massive scale, automation is very, very developed in that environment. Automotive is a very key example. India very well knows it. Everyone knows today more or less how to manufacture a car. But battery is very different. Battery, the world is known how to produce this, especially the lithium-ion ones, in the very recent past, about a decade ago. But the implementation of technology has happened in that decade, or let's say a couple of decades at best. Now what happens with this is that you are always looking at one direction because it's concentrated. Now when you look at it from an India perspective, we should look at how we can de-risk, how we can create this domain knowledge on our own and create something different on our side. Now, whenever I look at this, I see this more as an opportunity. And someone was talking to me earlier today, and I was saying that it's very important at this point to decide whether to buy or make things while using technology. It's like saying when this whole social networking thing started, everyone started using Facebook. Then this whole explosion with WeChat happened, and WeChat happened not only on communication, you started doing transaction, business and everything on that. India never adopted that. India adopted something which was existing, like WhatsApp, and that was working for us. Whereas when you talk about the digital payment method, we created something of our own. So I always feel that India as a market is very unique in this sense. We need to do something ourselves. We need to leverage something that's there externally and create a magic of our own. And that's why we are able to transact over a GPay or any other thing. And I can very proudly say that I don't have to pay a single penny when I have to transact with my fellow Indian, right? So we are different, and we can definitely do something very different and capture what we want to do in this market. Just a quick example of what people are already doing. Today, what as a designer of a pack or a cell you could do is create a digital twin of your product in a virtual environment, test it in all of the permutation combination, and try to drive a perfect product first time right. This has been done by many of our customers, not only in India, but also happening globally, and it's a very well established solution. You can leverage this today in a growing dynamic India, whether you're going to be making a pack for a bicycle or a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler or a three-wheeler. And it's very important that you're able to spread your varieties in that space. You never know which is going to work for you. In terms of what needs to go in as an automation so that you can scale, we already have a lot of things that is standardized. Why reinvent the wheel when you can do something that's standard? Now with this, not only few companies, but I have a very good example. At LG as a company recently released a press release saying that it was about 4-5 months ago, that in 2018 when they did their first or one of the battery factories, they took about 9 months to get a 90%, 1 year for about 90% yield. And in this year, they did it in 1 month. And this is a game changer. Again, quote Dr. Simon, because this is one of the most expensive things when you're trying to build a battery. And this can be done if you use technology right. And that's something that I want to emphasize on. I have most of the examples, but I see there is paucity of time. So running through that, it's also critical that we're able to manage all of this with the right information, right chemistry is going as a label. So battery passport is a huge thing that we are driving, and we would love you to be a part of this. There was also another, I'm forgetting, from Vision Mechatronics, they were talking about battery second life and how we can use it. And all of this can come in real life and help us as an economy if you use it right, if you use this technology right. So I feel, and it's realistic also, that technology is a key enabler and we have to leverage it now. And what Siemens does is exactly this. And we do it not only in one space, we do it across the entire ecosystem. So whether you are mining to recycling, producing batteries, producing cells, manufacturing cars, automobiles, everything, we are there supplying the solutions for automation, digitalization, and electrification. So this is what we do as Siemens, and we do it for our OEMs, builders of machines. We do it for research and development organizations and also battery producers. And if you take a quick look here, it gives you just a sneak peek of what we can do from Siemens. And I'd love you to please visit our booth. It's just right here. I have been able to do justice only for the last 10 minutes. I'm sure my colleagues out there can do much more. And with all that, this is all I had to say. Thanks, Manu, for the time. Yeah.